Good morning, madam and everyone. My name is Khairul Iman, and today we will present a case study on the Medellin metro cable system in Colombia. First of all, metro cable is classified under rail transport because it operates using cable railway technology. Although the cabin travel above the ground, it is not considered air transport because it is an aerial roadway system that is integrated with the metro network. Rapid urbanization in mountainous cities create a major transportation challenges. Many low-income communities live on steep hillside where building roads or railway is difficult, expensive, and sometimes impossible. To solve this problem, Medellin introduced the metro cable, an aerial cable car system integrated with the city's metro network. It was the first urban cable car in the world to operate as part of a public transportation system rather than as a tourist attraction. Our presentation will explain how the metro cable improves transportation, reduce social isolation, and contribute to economic and community development. We will also discuss whether the system could be applied in Malaysia. Now, let's look at the case study of Medellin, Colombia. Before the metro cable was introduced, many hillside communities were isolated because of the city's steep terrain. Residents had limited access to jobs, education, and healthcare, and these areas also face a high crime rate. To solve this problem, the city introduced the metro cable, an aerial cable car system connected directly to the Metro D Medellin. It provides a fast, convenient, and affordable transport option using a single integrated ticket. The metro cable also reduces travel time by more than 80%, improve accessibility, and operate using a clean electric power. Under the social urbanism concept, stations will also develop with libraries, parks, and public facilities, helping improve the quality of life and reduce crime. Overall, the Medellin Metro Cable show how innovative transport planning can improve mobility while supporting social and economic development.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Arash bin Masaad. Okay, on this slide, I will discuss the metro cable in Medellin, Colombia, as an example of a good practice in a social urbanism. The metro cable is a cable car transit system that connects people living in hillside communities directly to the city center, making transportation more accessible and efficient. One of its key innovation is integration between the cable car and the metro system through a single ticketing system, which provide greater convenience for daily commuters. Besides improving mobility, the project also focuses on social integration by developing public facilities such as libraries, parks, clinics, and better public space around the station. Therefore, the metro cable not only improve transportation services but also enhance the quality of life and promotes more inclusive urban development.
My name is Mama Azib Muklis. Now I will explain how the Medellin Metro cable system works. The metro cable uses continuous high-frequency detachable ropeway system. When the cabin enters the station, it detaches from the main cable and moves at slower speed. This allows passengers to get on and off safely. After leaving the station, the cabin attaches back to the moving cable and continues the journey. The system has a high passenger capacity because cabin arrive every few seconds. This allows the metro cable to transport around 3,000 passengers per hour per direction. Overall, the technology provides a safe, efficient, and reliable transportation system, especially for communities located in mountainous areas where building roads or railway is next. Let's look at the operational performance of metro cable. Before the metro cable was introduced, people traveling by traditional bus spent around 90 minutes to reach the city because of the traffic congestion and winding mountain roads. After the metro cable was introduced, the travel time was reduced to only 12 minutes, saving more than 80% of commuting time. Another advantage is the short waiting time. Passengers usually wait for less than 3 minutes because cabin arrive continuously. In addition, the system has a 99.5% reliability rate, meaning it operates consistency with very few delays or service interruptions.
Assalamualaikum, Medium. My name is Muhammad Arif Hakimi, and I would like to explain the safety and environmental performance of the Medellin Metro Cable. So first, let's look at zero local emissions. Unlike buses or private vehicles that rely on fossil fuels, the metro cables operate using electricity. This helps reduce air pollution and greenhouse gas emission while improving air quality, especially in densely populated hillside communities. The next one is this crime rate reduction. One of the unique achievements of the metro cable is its contribution to improving public safety. Before the metro cable was introduced, many hillside neighborhoods in Medellin were isolated and experienced high level of crime. By connecting these communities to the city's metro system and supporting the project with new public spaces, the area became more active and socially connected. As a result, several studies found that crime rate declined while residents felt safer and more connected to the rest of the city. And the last one is metro cable has a low footprint. Compared to building a new highways or large rail system, the cable car requires less land and minimal ground clearing because it operates using towers instead of continuous track. This reduces environmental disruption while preserving the surrounding landscape, making it a more sustainable transport solution for mountainous urban areas.
My name is Nur Himan, and I will tell you about how Metro Cable actually helped the poor people in Medellin. So, it made a huge difference in three ways. First, it saved them money because the cable car and train use the exact same ticket, so that poor workers save up to 25% of their daily travel costs. This is a lot extra money for food and rent. Second, it improved the neighborhood. Studies shows that having this transport system cut down informal or illegal housing by 15% because the area become cleaner and safer. Third, it created a good culture. The locals call it as Cultura Metro. Because the system changed their life, the people themselves protect the stations from vandalism and take real pride in them.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Arash bin Muhammad Saad, and I am the person who in charge who gonna present applicability to the Malaysian context. Okay, for now, we move to application 1, topography and urban fit for Malaysia. Now, let's look at how this system can be applied in the Malaysian context. Malaysia has several hilly and densely populated areas where conventional transport is difficult to develop. For example, the Penang Hill Cable Car project demonstrates that aerial cableway technology is technically feasible in our terrain. Beyond tourism, this system could also serve as an urban feeder by connecting residential areas such as Bukit Antarabangsa and Ampang to nearby LRT or MRT station. This would improve accessibility, reduce road congestion, and provide a faster and more reliable transport option for communities living in a challenging landscape. Now we move to application 2, infrastructure and investment comparison. When compared with heavy rail system like the MRT or LRT, aerial cableways offer several practical advantages for hilly corridors. They require significantly lower construction costs. It also can be completed within 1 to 2 years and need only minimal land acquisition because they rely on support towers instead of continuous track. Although their passenger capacity is lower than heavy rail, they are more than sufficient as feeder system. Therefore, aerial cableways should not replace existing field network, but rather complement them by improving first and last mile connectivity in areas where traditional rail is less practical.
But we do face three big challenges if we want to build this in Malaysia. The first one is strict environmental rules, because building on hills like Penang Hills require very strict rules to make sure we don't cause landslide or cut down too many trees. Second one is public mindset, because right now, nation only think of cable cars for holidays, like in Genting or Langkawi. They don't see it as a real way to go to work every day. And lastly is ticket integration, because it must be easy to use, but commuters need to be able to tap with their touch and go card or rapid card easily. To make this work, we have 4 simple recommendations for Ministry of Transport and APAD. The first one is to make new guidelines. So, Ministry of Transport and APAD must create specific safety guidelines for urban cable cars, treating them as public transport, not theme park rides. Second is use private funding, because they can work with private companies just like the Pinning Hill project, so the government doesn't have to spend all the money upfront. Third one is build community hubs. Don't just build a station, put a shop, small public cars, clinic, or anything else. And lastly is prepare for Malaysian weather. Since we have heavy rains and lightning storms, the system must have advanced lightning protection and wind sensors to keep passengers safe.
In conclusion, the Medellin Metro Cable has proven that an aerial cable car can be much more than a tourist attraction. It is an effective public transport system that improves accessibility, reduces travel time, supports environmental sustainability, and promotes social inclusion. Although there are challenges such as limited passenger capacity and weather conditions, the system offers many advantages for cities with hilly terrain. For Malaysia, aerial cable cars should be considered as a complementary transport system in suitable locations such as Penang Hill or other hilly urban areas. With a proper planning and integration into the existing transport network, this approach could be improve connectivity and provide a more sustainable transport solution. Thank you. That's all from our presentation.